And my trip was like. What's up, 420 effectors? This trip report is brought to you by Mad Dog 357, the hottest motherfucking hot sauce in the world. I swear to God, though, I swear. I used the tip of a toothpick with this shit, and it had me going for like 30 minutes. This shit is the hottest shit. It's 750,000 Scoville. I got another one that's like 1,000,000 Scoville. I know you don't know what that means, but that means it's hot, okay? It's like 1/5 as hot as pepper spray or some shit. Anyways, here's a trip report. This is for my third or fourth, I don't know, time trying 2CE. I'm a little bit kind of tipsy off the vodka and the Red Bull, but I'll try to give a straightforward trip report for this. Okay, so this is how it goes. My cousin, Cody Brown Bear, he's big with tripping. He does LSD, he does acid, same thing. He does shrooms, he does a lot of other shit. A lot. Like, I swear to God, this kid, like, would get in fights when he's on shrooms. He would get in fights when he's on LSD, and he's a big motherfucker. He'll beat up anyone. Almost anyone. While he's tripping, which is crazy. He lives down in California. He used to get ounces of shrooms every week and just trip every fucking weekend and just, like, learn shit about his mind. And now he's pretty much clean off that shit, because after a while, it does really, like, start to wear on you. If you're tripping every single weekend, you know, you got to take some type of break. But I know he'll get back into that. Anyways, he's like the master of tripping. He knows all the ropes. He like, you cannot have a bad trip when you're with this kid. He'll do any psychedelic and he'll do it like a master. But anyways, he came down to my town from California, or I should say up, because I live in Washington. And I was so excited because he got to meet a bunch of my friends from high school, some kids he's never met. And one kid, his name is Anthony, but I'll just call him Antwan. I'm sorry. I just took some of that hot sauce. I'm like salivating, whatever. My friend Antwan, this was his first time ever doing psychedelics. I'm about to grab the Coca-Cola real quick. This was Antwan's first time doing any type of psychedelic. So, I had about 10 grams of 2CE. I had a bunch of 100 milligram bags that I had measured up. So I had one bag that was 100 milligrams of 2CE, and I spread it upon us. Made sure we did small doses at first because we were snorting it, which is stupid. That shit burns like a motherfucker. So here's what I can remember. I can't really remember a lot of it, but I'll try to tell you what I remember. So we're in my room. I have a bunch of neon lights. My parents are sleeping, and I don't do it yet. I want to see how they react to it. I want to make sure they're all right while I'm sober, because I'm responsible for them. Antwan snorts a little bit. Cody Brown Bear snorts a little bit. They both snort a little bit. We go into my office where there's a computer, and we start watching trippy videos. We watch some Zoom quilts. We go view some Larry Carlson pictures. If you want to see some trippy pictures, you should go to see Larry Carlson's website. He has the trippiest pictures in the world. We start seeing some stereograms. We watch some trippy shit. And then I decide, okay, it's about my turn. So I notice they're acting kind of funny, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to get on that level. So I put a little bit on a book and just, the burn. Do another one, the burn. It seriously feels like someone's shooting in the nose with a tack or a nail gun or whatever. So that burn starts hitting me. It starts raising up in my head, and then suddenly I throw up in a garbage bag, and my cousin's all concerned about me because I'm his cousin. He's like, why are you throwing them in? I throw up on a lot of psychedelics anyways, but so I throw up, and after I throw up, that kind of ushers in the trip. So I start feeling kind of fuzzy, kind of weird, kind of different, like that. Like there's no going back now kind of feeling. And 2CE is a weird drug. You never feel the same on it. You either feel like you're a bunny in a meadow, or you're a fucking ant with an anvil getting dropped on top of it, or you're Lenny Kravitz at a concert. I don't know what it makes you feel like. It makes you feel like everything. It makes you feel like you're the coconut on a palm tree, and suddenly you're an amplifier that's morphing into a shoe. I don't know what it makes you feel like. It makes you feel like everything. Excuse me, I'm sorry for my fucking whatever that is. So I start to feel it. After I throw up, shit starts to get weird. The chemistry between us is weird. Here's Cody Brown. He's done everything. Cody Brown Bear. Here's my friend Antwan, and here's me. Me and Antwan are good friends. Me and Cody Brown are good friends, but Brown and Antwan are not good friends. They barely just met each other. So they're tripping, and it's a really weird chemistry between them. My friend Antwan will go from like really awesome into the trip to just shy and like, oh my gosh, I don't know this kid. This is awkward. Like he's judging me, whatever. So the first thing that happens that's amazing on 2CE is my friend Antwan. He starts to really get into the trip, and he goes up to one of my lampshades and just starts going, oh my god, it's shifting. The lampshade, the colors, and we're like, we know, we've been there. Oh my god! And he's just fixated on this lamp, absolutely enamored with this fucking lamp. Just the lampshade. Oh my god! And we're just kind of sitting there laying. I'm still trying to come to terms with it. This feels kind of weird because I did more than both of them. So then we all start kind of getting on that crazy level. So then we're all just walking around the room, kind of like each in our own compartmentalized mental state, not really knowing what's going on. And we all notice that this painting on the wall, actually, I'll go show you right now. I have this poster, and we all saw a wolf in the poster right there. You see the wolf? Pretend that's his nose, that's his eyes, that's his mouth. The wolf. We saw this wolf head coming out at us. It was straight 3D, and we were going crazy that we all seen it, even though it's pretty easy to see. So yeah, we all seen this fucking wolf, and we're all tripping on this wolf, like, oh my god, there's a wolf. But shit gets crazier from there. We're not just gonna chill in the room and trip, we're gonna go on an adventure. So we go back out into the kitchen, and my friend Antwan, it's his first time tripping, he starts bending over the tiles, and we have these like brown tiles that look like paint was splattered on, like brown paint was splattered on them. They're like this like multi light brown, dark brown colored, like, I don't know, it almost looks like like camouflage. I don't know what it looks like, but he swears he can see the president's faces in the tile. He looks down and he's like, oh my god, I can see George Washington, I can see James Madison, oh my god, it's John F. Kennedy. What the fuck, George Bush, why are you doing this to me? He was just like bent over the tiles like, oh my god, the presidents, they're all here with me, they're on my side, they know what I think, I'm with you too, buddy. Like, what? So it gets pretty funny. My friend Antwan, his first time on psychedelics, you can see him breaking down emotionally. He'll go from being his confident usual self to suddenly he was in the mirror and he's like, what does my girlfriend see in me? I'm just skinny little no one. And me and my friend were watching him, observing him like, yeah, we've been there, done that. We know. You judge yourself. You go into those deep, emotional, retrospective states, introspective states. We get it. So we didn't judge him about that. But it was really funny because my friend Antwan would be like talking to my cousin, and then he'd stop and realize, oh my gosh, I don't actually know you. And he'd just suddenly be all reserved. Like, you could see the 2CE working its ways into us. As far as what I saw, I mean, I'm not going to spend the day trying to explain to you what you see on psychedelics, but things were warping, things were moving. But the thing with 2CE is it's not really much about the visuals. The visuals weren't so crazy. It was about how you felt. It was always shifting from hard to light to soft to fuzzy to pokey to whatever. Like, you don't know how you're feeling. You feel like a duck, then a frog, then a moose, then Dr. Seuss playing the blues, scooting blues on a flute. You don't know what you're feeling. So then came the real part of the trip. And I can't really remember how this all went down, but it was time to sneak out. Sneak out. We had to go out my back window. So taking off the screen, usually on a normal night when I'm smoking weed or drinking, I'll just pop off the screen, throw it, get out the fucking window. But on 2C, it's like James Bond, like fucking like, I don't know the James Bond theme. I'm not gonna try to sing it right now. Like, how does it go? I don't know. I forgot. I'm drunk. But you pull it off and you're just like fucking Pink Panther, like, put down the crystal. Laser beams will catch you. We were just trying to be extra cautious. Stepping out that window into my backyard felt like we were dipping our feet into a fucking Escatonian pond of dreams. It was weird because when you go outside, as anyone who's done psychedelics know, when you go into the dark, your mind kind of fills in the spaces. Usually you can see the walls and the TV and the lights, and it's trippy, but when you go into the dark, that's when your brain really plays tricks on you. So we stepped into the dark, and I couldn't see where the ground was. It felt like I was stepping into layers of this fucking psychedelic fudge. I was just, whoa. And as we stepped in, we were all three a team. It almost felt like our minds were connected in a way. So we went out back behind the fence, and imagine stepping out a window, a bright environment. Sorry, my camera kind of cut out there, but anyways, as I was saying, we stepped out of this bright environment suddenly into this dark, infinite abyss that you call Earth. And we just tiptoed along the dark grass by the shrubs, which moved by us as if they were in some weird stop-motion, groovy, hippie movie, whatever you want to call it. And we opened the gate to the front yard, and suddenly we're out in the street of my neighborhood in the middle of the dark. And when you're on a psychedelic, suddenly gravity doesn't matter, the Earth doesn't matter. We might as well have been on the bottom of the Earth with our heads facing downwards instead of up. It doesn't matter. We were suddenly out there into this open, huge stadium that we call space, whatever you want to call it. And it suddenly felt like we were liberated or something, like we had just opened into this huge empty space. Let the echoes reverberate, whatever the fuck you want to say. Excuse me. So we stepped out onto the street. And I don't know if you guys have seen the movie Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring. That scene where Frodo and them have just came out of the Shire, they came down the hill, and they're on that before those creepy-ass monsters on the dark horses come, the Nazgul or whatever. Frodo looks down the pathway, and it goes like this. And it kind of zooms out, like that effect. It was really like grounded up my street, and I seen that just... The whole street just like expanded down this infinite fucking tunnel, and I was like, whoa! And meanwhile, my friends were running up the street, and I suddenly felt this urge to run, and I was like, run! My knees just started moving, my hands went out, and I was like, go! And I just started running. It felt like I didn't even have to try. It just carried me along this treadmill. It felt like no matter where I ran, I was in the same spot. Meanwhile, I was actually covering distance. So, we're all running up the street exclaiming how amazing it is to be tripping. It was Antwans' first trip, and you can imagine, he was just like, oh my god, what the fuck is this? Oh my god, he was just freaking out about it. My cousin, meanwhile, was just keeping to himself, wasn't saying much, because he's tripped a million times. So finally, as the sun starts coming up, we sneak down to the lake, and we go behind my friend's house down to the lake, because my friend lives across the street from me, and down the hill from him is a lake, and we went into his property, went down the trail in his backyard to the lake, and we sat on this dock on the lake that was right behind this shed. It's actually like the shed that's on the lake for skis to get into, or jet skis, and we're all just sitting there as the sun starts to come up, and the houses across the lake literally looked like paintings or something. They looked like perfect, sparkling, genuine, whatever. Like they were coming towards us or going away. The colors on the lake usually would be like a bluish, purplish, but they were shifting through this amazing color wheel. And this amazing thing happened as if it was supposed to happen. These fish started jumping all around us. And we weren't making this up. The fish started just jumping all around the dock. And we were like, what the fuck? Like, my cousin and my friend exclaimed, like, what is going on right now? Like, this has to be, like, us tripping. And then we all sat there, and I was trying to come to terms with my trip. I was still confused, and I brought up this thing about how, like, I'm tripping on how I look right now because I hadn't showered and my hair was all fucked up. And I made this joke about how I was tripping on how I looked, and then he just gave me this weird look about, like, why are you bringing that up? And suddenly I just got this awkward feeling, like, I don't know why. In normal conversation I wouldn't, but it's like every little thing that you think on a psychedelic just gets amplified, and suddenly I was like, awkward times the max. Like, they just started laughing. Then that went away. And we all just started sitting there, just kind of bringing up past moments from our life, really just thinking, wow, like, I was asking Antoine how his trip was. And he just said, like, dude, I didn't know that, like, it was possible to feel those type of ways. Like, I felt like my brain was oozing out into another dimension. I felt like things were being expanded in ways I couldn't imagine. I almost felt like I was another person, or I could be two persons at once. And I said, yeah, that comes with hallucinogens and whatnot. And now here was the hardest part. We had to get back into my house. So we had to go back up the dock area. I'm so fucking drunk, dude. Motherfucker. I'm so sorry this trip report isn't what you want it to be. Maybe it is. I don't know. I really don't remember it that well. I'm going to have some better trip reports coming up, but I am drunk as fuck. Anyways, we walked back up the path, went to my room. We had to hop in the window, put back on the screen. But 2CE lasts a good long while, so we're all laying there, not talking anymore. I'm looking at the wall, Cody Bear's looking at the roof, Antwans looking at his sleeping bag, whatever. And I know we all had this introspective trip at the end for a couple hours. And I remember looking at the wall and seeing these like patterns of spheres on the wall, kind of like, I call them the spheres of life, whatever. They were kind of amplified by the trip. I could see them, like a wallpaper of them just back on the wall, these psychedelic spheres that I would follow with my eyes. I don't know if you've ever seen when you were a kid or like in school, if you looked up at the sky, you could see those like amoebas on your eyes, and they would kind of go wherever you looked. Well, those spheres were there too, and they weren't amoebas, they weren't life forms or anything. They were literally like psychedelic patterns that were part of my neuropathic brain functions or something, but I could see them wherever I looked, and I can still see them to this day sometimes. But yeah, I guess it was really cool to see my friend Antwan just go crazy over a lampshade and see him like go crazy over the tiles on my floor. To see my cousin try 2CE for the first time was awesome. Actually, there was a time that he did it before. He did a larger amount when he was over there staying. But yeah, I got 2CE and I introduced it to my friends, and we had some crazy stories about times we did it. This one wasn't one of the craziest, but I wish I could describe better what the trip was like, but God, it was intense coming up, the puking, kind of coming into the trip and being all confused, even in my own house, every second being paranoid about a parent walking in, having to dip out of windows through dark backyards. It almost felt like a movie. I really can't explain it any better than that. I wish I could. Anyways, I wanted to post the trip report for you guys. I'm going to post some more soon. Sorry that I didn't explain with the detail that I usually do, the excruciating spiritual detail, whatever the fuck. I'm so drunk right now, okay? I drank too much. Maybe. It doesn't feel like I did yet because I drank a lot of energy drinks too, but it's going to hit me pretty soon. Anyways, I'm about to go to, what's it called? Pagliacci's Pizza, get a pizza. And I'll try to do another video for you guys tonight. I'll probably try to, or maybe tomorrow morning. I'll do a salvia trip or something. But anyways, I'm going to edit this right now, post it. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. It's really not that crazy compared to my other ones, but thank you for watching, motherfuckers.